One of the biggest trade stories this year is set to be Nasiah Wanganeen-Milera, whether he stays or whether he goes to the Crows or Port Adelaide. What I can tell you tonight is that it's not just family reasons that he's weighing up, it's also the prospect of success at St Kilda. He's told people close to him that he would love to be successful at St Kilda. He wants to know that players are coming in and that the club is going to improve next year. Is there any indication yet, Cal, which way this is going? Like, it's one of those discussion points that we're talking about seemingly daily at the moment.
Yeah, and he's keeping his cards very close to his chest. And because he's playing such good footy as well, he's able to do that. It's not a stress on him. I think he's very comfortable taking his time with his decision. For me, it's still a race of three. The club's sitting next to me. Port Adelaide and also St Kilda, who's desperate to keep him, clearly. Are
you a strong chance, Nixie? Take us behind the curtain.
I think we're obviously talked about. We're a South Australian side and there's two of us, and Naz is a South Australian. So obviously we are talked about a lot. He's an outstanding young footballer. We've always gone down the path of we don't talk about players from other footy clubs, and I won't be changing that tonight on a panel with you guys. And we could sit here for the next hour and talk through it.
But how upsetting was it for your footy club when the comments were made that you didn't want to go there because of what happened with Tex a while ago?
I mean, we were really disappointed with the way that played out, and I made that statement. I was extremely disappointed with how it played out. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about that. All we can do is just get to work on making our culture what we feel it should be, and we're really strong in our belief on what we're doing at the moment. You know, it's been a pretty tough road for us where our results haven't been where we would have liked them, but we're going through something very deliberate. Part of that is the culture we're building. We're bringing a lot of good people, and you know, we're making ground.
So do you think you're still live in this chase?
Oh, look, I can't comment around that. You know, it's something that we'll see how it plays out as the year plays out.
Do you think they're still live?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. They've got 8+ years on the table. They put their best foot forward early. He's got links there and they're going well. So.
And if you look at the profile of the three clubs they're going through, Adelaide's got the best profile. I mean, look at the set for success. Yeah. You'd have to say Adelaide is number one at the moment.
The other thing about the Adelaide Crows, Nixie, is the way you've been able to bring in so many experienced players, and it's worked for you. You know, the recruiting over the last 4 or 5 years has been really strong. Now, my understanding around the Jordan Dawson situation is that he's your captain of the footy club, but you are actually trying to extend him beyond the end of next year as well. If not 4, maybe 5 years, making him a Crow for life. How important has that acquisition been for you?
Yeah, all the acquisitions there that are on the screen have been super important for what we are doing, and we're very busy in the acquisition space. Even going forward from here, we will continue to be, but we're also really busy in the space you mentioned, which is re-signing the guys that have made a difference to our footy club, and every one of the guys on that list is a super important player at our footy club. So I'm really pleased and proud of what our footy club's done over the last 5.5 years. We're still going to work. We're still very busy, like all clubs are. We know that you can't sit idle. You've got to keep improving.
Coming and peeling have been excellent for you on the field. Alex Neil-Bullen, tell us about the impact he's made on and off the field.
Oh, he's been outstanding for us, and I've got no doubt that was something that he contributed to Melbourne's success throughout that period. He's as good a leader as I've worked with. You know, we mentioned Jordan Dawson before, who's an outstanding young leader. Alex is an older, experienced head that knows when to speak. You know, as a coach, you can often ask a group questions. There can be crickets at times where they don't give you a lot back. When you have an Alex Neil-Bullen in your group, he knows when to speak. Yep. He knows what needs to be said at what different points, and he brings experience. You know, for our group, he's played in the premiership. We talk about where we're at the moment. We haven't achieved anything yet, and Alex knows that, so he's able to share that with our group. So,
can you share something with us? Is Jordan Dawson on the cusp of re-signing a long-term deal?
Oh, look, I hope so. Look, I can tell you the club's extremely busy in that space. Conversations are ongoing, like they are with all of our players. You know, we want to keep the key players that we believe are going to get us a premiership ultimately and give us sustained success, and he's one of those.
But where would he go? Why would he go? Why would Jordan Dawson? I mean, Jordan Dawson's
definitely a number, isn't it?
Yeah,
he's $1 million player, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's a contract, as you say, next year. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, get him. But Adelaide's done that previously.
He's on the verge of being captain of a very, very good football side, if not already.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, speaking of decisions in the list front, Tom, you've been all across the Collingwood situation.
Well, it's fascinating what they're doing, isn't it? Because they're bucking the trend of most other clubs, which seem to prefer younger players rather than older players. Collingwood saying, no, we're just going to keep topping up. Geelong's done it in the past, and they're doing the same. And they've got 8 older players that are out of contract. 6 of these players have told the club that they want to be there next year. They're the ones in the green. Even if they win the flag, the club's position is they're happy for them to be here as well, but they just want some protections in the contract if they can write it in. The 2 that need to wait until the end of the season are Mason Cox and Tom Mitchell. This is a different way of doing things, Hurdy.
Yeah, but it is. But those 6 players are in amazing form. I mean, if not, the top 10 players, the way they're playing, I don't see why you wouldn't sign them going forward. And if they do win the premiership, they all might want to play next year. They do sign them up, but the decision to sign them up will be proved right in hindsight or not. I mean, really, it will be. And I'd sign all those players, but if you're a decision maker at Collingwood, you would absolutely sign those players up.
And this has been a plan over a number of years now from Craig McRae to keep competing, but they wouldn't have expected Steele Sidebottom to be playing the footy he's playing.
No, he's got as many coaches' votes this year as Nick Dacos. Like, who would have thought that at the start of the season? Scott Pendlebury's on the verge of another extra year, which will take him through to that record-breaking game next year. For me, the plan's changed this year, though. At the start of this season, and this is understood as well, Collingwood expected more of these guys to tip out, stagger these retirements over a couple of seasons because how well they're playing. They have to go on with a lot of them, and fair enough too. They do things differently. They are a different recruiting landscape than any other club in the competition. They can say, we're Collingwood. This time last year, they weren't in for Harry Perryman. They weren't in for Dan Houston. They ended up spending $1.8 million on those two.
How hard is it to manage the exits or the re-signings of these older players and your list? I mean, Rory Sloane, who sits there most of the year, Nixie, he's done a great job with us, but he would still love to be playing. Like, it's a really difficult task, isn't it, for clubs to manage? Yeah,
Rory's is obviously a different case. We're working through that at the moment with our guys who are 30 plus. And again, sitting down and talking about what impact they have on the group, not necessarily just on a game day. There's a lot more to a re-signing than just a game day, although, as you mentioned, Hurdy, the list that Collingwood are about to re-sign, there's some guys in some ripping form there.
You'd find a spot for Pendlebury, wouldn't you? Or
We've got
you'd be able to find a spot just in slip in?
Yeah, we'll have all 6 guys.
I mean, Tex is a big one for you guys, isn't it? I mean, how you manage eventually his exit, but I would imagine the impact he has on and off the field will leave a huge hole when he leaves.
Yeah, my word it will. And at the moment, that's an ongoing discussion that Tex and I have regularly. I mean, he's in my office at least once a week, telling me how well he went on the weekend, and we discuss when he has been going really well. He's been playing some great footy. I think at the moment we're being challenged with some of the conditions for a key forward and how they impact the game, but he's doing a great job in other areas. But it won't be a decision we make before the end of the season. It'll be one that we'll continue to sit down and talk through as a football club with Tex and his manager, keep them up to date. And, if we feel it's going to make us stronger into next season, then it'll be a decision that we'll go with.
Just on that, exiting champions, like you've been there previously as well, James, is it footy's toughest task for a senior coach?
I think it's one of them. I think particularly if they don't want to go. I think particularly if they want to hang on.
Who was the hardest one in your tenure when you were coaching, or even when you were playing?
I didn't get coached long enough, so it didn't really worry me.
What about your playing career? Was anyone that...
the saddest one for me was Lloydie. I mean, Lloydie should have gone on and played another 2 or 3 years and be able to kick the 1,000 goals and be part of the successful team. And actually, it's on record, when I came back to coach, I asked him to come back and play. He knocked me back, but I think he should have gone on and played more footy.